This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 1st day of February in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The government of Guyana has indicated that while it notes and respects the rulings of the Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire in the no-confidence cases, it will be filing an appeal of its case. In a statement last evening, the government said that while the ruling is not in its favor, due process continues, and the government will file an appeal in the Court of Appeal. The government continues to believe that a full adjudication of the issue is in the national interest. The President David Granger-led administration stated that until the matter is concluded at the highest court of appeal, the status quo remains and the business of government continues as usual. The Attorney General, Senior Counsel Basil Williams, is expected to first challenge the Chief Justice's ruling in the local Court of Appeal, and he has indicated that the appeal could go all the way to the Caribbean Court of Justice, which is Guyana's highest appellate court. The opposition leader's attorney, Anil Nandlal, has said that while anyone has a right to appeal, he believes the rulings of the Chief Justice are sound, and it would be difficult for any court to throw out the rulings. On Thursday, Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire ruled that a no-confidence motion against the government was properly carried by a majority in the National Assembly. The Chief Justice ruled that 33 votes in the National Assembly represented a majority of votes. She said there is nothing in the Guyana Constitution that caters for a rounding up of fractions. Justice George Wiltshire said that while there is a need for an absolute majority, she's of the opinion that 33 votes in the 65-member National Assembly would constitute that majority. She said the issue of what constitutes a majority in the National Assembly in relation to the no-confidence motion was never raised in the National Assembly by either side, and even on the date of the motion there was no immediate objection to 33 being the majority. Today, opposition leader Jagdeo said he welcomes the ruling.
As we suspected and we had mentioned in the public domain over the past several weeks, that we see the approach to the court by the government as a delaying tactic. That the Constitution is quite clear and that the grounds used by the government to challenge the successful passage of the no-confidence motion were baseless.
Stay with us, more news coming up in just a moment.
Nobody on the post there, going to be costly. Yes it is, but I'm not saying it. We're just going to head it. Oh no, that's some save, isn't it?
Let's Bet Sports. Take your game to a whole new level. You decide. Your game. Your bet type. Your bet amount. Guyana Lottery Companies. Let's Bet Sports. Be part of the game.
As a luxury mechanic, I'm often asked, what gas should I use in my expensive vehicle? In other countries, you have regular and mid-grade gasoline known as 87, 89, and premium gasoline known as octane 93 to 95. For affordable, high-quality fuel, performance, and high mileage, visit Guy Oil today. Choose Guy Oil Super 95. Guy Oil, we are everywhere.
Roam like you're home, because prepaid means more with GTT. Travel to any GTT roam zone in the US, Canada, Caribbean, Latin America, or South America, and pay the same great rates to use your data from foreign as you do when you're home. With GTT, prepaid means more, so roam like you're home with GTT, Guyana's preferred roaming network.
Get ready to ride it, ride it, ready to ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride the wave. Open up the new vibe, drink up the boldness inside. Radical and fresh and wild, catch the wave now. Ride bold, ride fresh, ride strong, come on, ride the wave. Taste the action, satisfaction, perfection. Wave, 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 wave.
Ride the new wave of excitement sweeping Guyana. Wave Pale Ale, a premium, full-bodied, strong, and refreshing alcoholic brew, crafted to perfection for a bold, young, radical you. Don't settle for anything less. Catch a Wave Pale Ale and ride it today.
Wave Pale Ale.
crafted to perfection.
Welcome back. Opposition leader and PPP General Secretary Jagdeo today announced that his party's chief whip in Parliament, Gail Teixeira, has indicated to him that she is prepared to relinquish her Canadian citizenship in wake of the Chief Justice's ruling. The Chief Justice ruled on Thursday that it is unconstitutional for someone who would have pledged allegiance to another state, thereby holding dual citizenship, to be nominated or elected to serve as a member of Parliament. Ms. Teixeira is a Canadian citizen and has been a Canadian citizen for several years. She is currently in Canada on travel duty for her party. At his press conference this morning, Mr. Jagdeo claimed that he spoke with Teixeira this morning and she voluntarily told him that she would give up her Canadian citizenship. He previously stated that he knows of at least one other member of Parliament for his party who is a dual citizen. The PPP General Secretary said the issue will have to be looked at in the future, since he does not believe one could encourage Guyanese who live abroad to return home and work to develop the country and not expect them to seek political office. On the government side, there are also a number of its members of Parliament who hold dual citizenship. Recently, the Minister of State, Joe Harman, who is reportedly one of those with dual citizenship, said he will comment on the issue at a later date. The opposition leader Jagdeo has welcomed the firing of the British Special Advisor to the Special Organised Crime Unit, Sam Sitlington, and the resignation of the British Deputy Head of the same unit, Shironi James. Sitlington's contract was terminated by the British High Commission following revelations that he has registered a private fraud investigative company in Guyana. Ms. James said she resigned to avoid compromising confidentiality issues related to her work as a financial crimes expert. At his press conference this morning, Mr. Jagdeo, who has been on the probe by SOCU, said the two British financial crimes investigators were part of what he calls a cabal.
And we believe that these two persons were part of the cabal, that were targeting PPP officials. And there's still a few others in there who over the past 4 years, we have to recall who set up SOCU and why. It was the People's Progressive Party that set up SOCU under the authority of the Commissioner of Police. And SOCU was set up to support the FIU to go after drug dealers and money launderers.
SOCU is still carrying out a number of investigations that involve a number of officials of the former PPP civic government. It was SOCU that filed the 19 fraud charges against former Housing Minister Irfan Ali. Those charges are still before the courts and are related to the sale of land at below market prices to former officials of the PPP government and other persons. Ali has proclaimed his innocence and was recently elected as the presidential candidate for the People's Progressive Party, being heavily supported by Mr. Jagdeo, who first appointed him to a cabinet position in the former government. Finally, tonight we turn to the courts. 2 days after county investigators seized the quantity of cocaine and marijuana at the Charlestown house, the two persons arrested appeared in court today. 58-year-old Courtney Demonic appeared and pleaded guilty to having over 196 pounds of marijuana and 20 grams of cocaine in his possession for the purpose of trafficking. Before sentencing, the 58-year-old man confessed his wrongdoing and told the magistrate that he's a father of 4 who suffers from bronchitis. He said he was aware that he had made a wrong choice, but claimed he was doing so for his children. He was immediately sentenced to 5 years in jail and also fined just over $8.4 million. The other accused, 23-year-old Ebony Craig, walked out of the court a free woman after the counter investigators told the court that they were no longer proceeding with a charge against her. The two were held during an operation by Kanu following a tip-off. Kanu investigators are convinced that the marijuana was imported into Guyana from Colombia. And 2 Guyanese nationals and a Venezuelan made their first court appearance today to face drug trafficking charges after they were busted with just over 70 pounds of marijuana. The 3, Emroy Cavario, Siddiqui Karamad, and Ricardo Garcia, were in court today and pleaded not guilty to the charge. The prosecutor told the court that the 3 men were held on Thursday during a canoe operation at Virgin Origin in the Essequibo region with a large quantity of marijuana. The prosecutor said that she will provide overwhelming evidence that links all 3 men to the marijuana. She said the 3 were under surveillance by the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit and the agents moved in and carried out the bust. The court was told that it appears as though the Venezuelan traveled to Guyana to purchase the marijuana. The three men were remanded to jail until the 18th of February. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.